Alright, I'm going to show you the Jim Mayer 10K course. It starts a little bit different from the 5K course. It's actually right next to this little park. So I'm going to try to do this really quick, but again, you're going to park as you're coming down along the road. There's really not much parking, so you basically have to find wherever you can in Riverside area. Let's get going. Alright, so you start before you actually hit the trail, like a little over a 10th. This is the normal Jim Mayer parking lot trailhead. So now we're actually on the trail. It's a pretty nice rail trail, what I call downtown Johnstown. Some people might say it's, you know, Ferndale, Riverside, whatever goes through there, but I just lump it all into downtown Johnstown. It does get used a lot by people running and biking, walking, or just traveling between the different areas of town. It's also a nice trail to use at night if you're going to do some night running. You really don't need much light to actually see where you're going. The trail itself is pretty safe. The trail's pretty well taken care of. You really don't have to worry about too much. Except if it does get wet, the trail does stick to your feet a little bit. All right, we're half mile in. We got 57 feet of gain to start. Well, we got a little bit of a downhill right now. GPS could be off a little bit of the gain and loss, just because it's not a strong signal area. But the map itself will be pretty accurate. go over this little bridge. Make sure you stay on the bridge. All right, we're a mile in. We got 75 feet of gain, 11 feet of loss. The trail does stay pretty cool. So in the middle of summer, if you're looking for somewhere where you're not going to get as hot as you would on the road, definitely stays probably 10-15 degrees at least, if not 20 degrees colder than the road. It's also a nice little trail to do some fartlekking or some speed play, you know, just a little bit of intervals, or even if you want to push yourself a little bit. At least this first like mile and a half of the trail, you really aren't going to get interrupted at all because there's no road crossings like the second half. So we got our first road crossing coming up. You see the red wood ahead. This is where the 5K actually turns around. But for the 10K, we go across the road and continue on. There's some parking right in here too. Continue on, across the road. All right, we're a mile and a half in. Got 84 feet of gain, 22 feet of loss. For the most part, the river is going to be on your left-hand side. Well, on the way out, then the right-hand side on the way back. There should be somebody at the road crossings to stop traffic so you don't have to worry about it. Just make sure you're being safe just in case somebody's not paying attention. I believe there's 6 total road crossings, 3 on the way out, 3 on the way back. but you can definitely fly on this trail if you wanted to. All right, we're coming up on 2 miles in, and we will have 91 feet of gain, 26 feet down. Now you're gonna see this little industrial area coming up. It's a construction business. You gotta go through it. Just be careful if you come during the day, during business hours. There's no machinery moving around, but for the race you're not gonna have to worry about that, or in the evenings. And at the end of that, there's gonna be your second road crossing. You see the old pizza place. Good place to get a pizza. Real quickly, this intersection can be tricky if you're just going to run it on your own, but for the race it won't be a problem. You're going to see Johnstown High School on your left hand side, the other side of the river. We're basically going to circle it around it. The football stadium, the softball field, and yeah, whatever else they have in the complex.
Compare sizes?
Hey guys. You'll be able to see the softball field pretty good on the left hand side right now. As the football field comes into view, we're at like 2.5 in, 95 up, 41 down. across this little bridge. Now we got our third road crossing on the way out. It's really not too far from the second road wise, but the way the trail itself circles out and around, you got a pretty good distance apart. So that's your 3 road crossings on the way out. Obviously, since it's an out and back course, you hit the same 3 on the way back. We're at 3 miles in now, 100 feet gain, 56 feet of loss. You'll see the end of the trail coming up right here. That's going to be the first half of your race, the out and back. Circle around here. Now, you can park, if you make it right over there, you can do another 3/10 to add on. That takes you by the, I think it's AutoZone or whatever, by the cemetery over that way. If you want to park somewhere else. So now we're going to head back the exact same way we came, since it is an out and back course. That's your whole Jim Mayer trail. If you're ever curious or you've never been on it, besides the 3 road crossings, again, it is a pretty good training trail. And if you live in Johnstown or whatnot, you know, it's only a stone throw away to get some miles in. Back across the bridge. So now we got the river on our right hand side as we head back. Football stadium right now to our right hand side as well. As we go around Johnstown High School complex and the river bend itself. All right, so we got 3.5 in, 109 feet of gain, 60 feet of loss. You really don't notice the gain or loss during the race. or if you're just training on the trail. There's really no leg burning sections. Your legs just might get tired because you're using the same muscles because of the flatness of the course itself. Behind you. Thank you. Coming off on the road crossing again. This will be your 5th road crossing. The second one on the way back. We're gonna hit like 4 miles in the middle of the road-ish. So we got 117 feet of gain, 60 feet of loss. Now, 4 miles is right by the pizza place. So you're gonna hit 4 miles right before you cross. Right through the construction place again. Alright, we're 4.5 into the race, 124 feet of gain, 74 feet of loss. coming up on your last road crossing. So this is 6 of 6 or 3 of 3 on the way back. One last reminder, there should be somebody stopping traffic for the race. Alright, we're now at 5 miles in, 137 feet of gain. With 88 feet of loss. All right, we hit 5.2, so there's a mile left now. So start thinking about where you're at, what you're gonna do. Now remember, little runner trick, since it's an out and back course, you'll be able to see where you stand compared to other people, or maybe you want to beat somebody. You know, you don't want somebody to beat you. So when you make that turn, look at your watch. Look at the time, and then if you're ahead of somebody, see how many seconds ahead you are of them, times that times 2 if they're still heading out. But if they're ahead of you, see how long it takes you to get to the turnaround from where you saw them, and then times it times 2. Right. Just a little trick, that way you know how much of a gap you have, whether ahead of somebody or behind somebody. How much time you got to make up, or how much time you got to use. So we're at 5.7 now. We got a half mile left in the race. It's the time to turn and burn, if you're going to turn and burn, or what you're going to do. Pass a couple people, maintain. If you're going for that PR, start turning it on, try to get it. I think you can get a PR in this course. The river's a little high today. It's been raining the last few days. All right. So when you see this bench come into view, it's basically your now or never moment. If you're gonna pass somebody in the last couple of tenths that we got. Or if you're close to that PR, it's time to really turn it on. Try to hit it. Always a tight squeeze right there. And that will be your 10K Jim Mare Riverwalk Trail course, race course preview, put on by the Cambria County Rec Authority in alliance with the Trans-Allegheny Trails. So I got 161 feet of gain, 101 down. But again, I think the first couple of tenths out, the GPS shot up a little bit because the signal was weak, especially because I went under this underpass and it threw it off a little bit. So I'm going to say it's roughly 100 feet of gain and loss the whole time because there's really no hills. But check it out in the fall when the race happens. The awards and registration are going to be in this little area here. It's a pretty fun flat course for the most part, so give it a shot and see if you can come get a PR or at least support the trails and donate some money and help with improvements.